Right, so we now know the biggest buys from the IPL auction. Now I'm going to try and make sense of why these players went for the big money that they did. Let's start with Pat Cummins, the most expensive overseas player in the history of the IPL auctions now. And Cummins going at 15.5 crore, a little over $2 million to KKR, a side that he has played for before, played for them in 2014 when they last won the IPL. Now they clearly needed an answer to their bowling issues, which clearly weren't being handled by Lockie Ferguson and Harry Gurney last season as far as their overseas options go. Andre Russell as well tends to have his questions with fitness when it comes to bowling through the course of the season. So Pat Cummins, surely the answer to any franchise's troubles with the sort of form he's been in international cricket across formats. Let's also not forget we predicted that Cummins would be the top buy from this auction. It has happened, and it'll be interesting to see now how he leads KKR's attack on what is a batting paradise at the Eden Gardens. Moving to Pat Cummins' Aussie teammate, and that is Glenn Maxwell, going for big money to Kings 11 Punjab. We've heard that story before. Does it make sense this time though? What's the evidence that suggests that Maxwell to Punjab for big money again is going to give them the sort of returns that it hasn't in the past? Most Punjab fans would agree that Maxwell has been a disappointment for the sort of reputation and talent that he has possessed going into IPL seasons in the past, and going at 10.75 crores again to the same franchise. Brad Hodge has spoken on our network and said that there was a time where the ownership of the Kings 11 was fed up almost with Maxwell to a point that they did not want to invest big money in him. So clearly there's been some sort of change in mindset towards Maxwell that Anil Kumble has brought about. Will it make a difference? There's already Nicholas Pooran in that team. KL Rahul is going to be captain. It's anyone's guess, but I have my question marks on Maxwell working for Punjab with the same price tag pressure. Moving on to Chris Morris, who's gone to RCB for 10 crore. Now I get RCB's desperation to try and get a top bowler who would answer their death bowling concerns, something that's plagued Virat Kohli's team for years. They really tried to go after Pat Cummins. Eventually they were outbid with the lack of balance in the purse by KKR, so they had to go to the next option that they could get, and that is Chris Morris. Does he really answer the questions that Virat Kohli wants answered in this team? Last year for the Delhi Capitals, he was supposed to partner Rabada and be this force at the death, went at an economy of over 9, had his share of struggles with injuries too. Morris now to the Chinnaswamy, a harder place to bowl you'd think, and with an even more inexperienced Indian bowling lineup, that would be a bit of a question mark, but let's see how he goes for RCB. Sheldon Cottrell and his salute will be going to the Kings 11, and 8.5 crore for Cottrell. Honestly, we can't really pass judgment without ever having seen Cottrell in the IPL, but with the sort of form that he's shown in the World Cup in 2019, in the ongoing series against India, you'd actually think this is a bowler that can improve bowling on Indian pitches with time to come. Also Cottrell, a left armour that's always in short supply. So Sheldon Cottrell would be interesting actually for the Kings 11, and it may not surprise me that he may actually have a pretty decent season for them. Nathan Coulter to the Mumbai Indians. This was a curious one. Perhaps the first indication that I got that the Mumbai Indians aren't quite sure whether Lasith Malinga will pull through an entire season in IPL 2020. The sort of desperation they show to try and get Coulter, who has played for them before, was an indication perhaps that they didn't mind their budget being exhausted, their balance purse being exhausted, so long as they got a proven international, someone who's played in the IPL before too, as just someone who can be used as an overseas bowling option along with Lasith Malinga. Rohit Sharma has said in the past he likes playing two overseas quicks. So now that they've got Malinga stroke Coulter as well as Bolt stroke McClanagan, that gives them enough depth in overseas bowling options. And finally, Shimron Het Myer. Be pleased for Het Myer, who always scores big at the right time for him when the West Indies come to India ahead of an IPL auction, but that's no disrespect to his talent. He has shown it last season and this. I think a number of us believe that RCB didn't give him the sort of opportunities that he deserved, that he wanted. He did tee off for them towards the end of the season when it sort of became impossible to qualify for Virat Kohli's side, but this time it's Het Myer to Delhi. It's an interesting predicament for Ricky Ponting and Shreyas Iyer to try and fit both Het Myer as well as Alex Carey into that power-packed, top-heavy Delhi batting lineup. I think they do well to play both Het Myer and Alex Carey along with Rishabh Pant. There's a lot of solidity then in that middle order, but they'll have to find a way then to figure out who their top batsmen are. Lots of left-handers as well, so that's something to contend with on a track with spins, and Het Myer has shown that he can play spin well in India. So I think that's pretty good money invested by the Delhi Capitals to get Het Myer.